If you don't think the UFC is exciting, you gotta be a lunatic. Okay, I don't know what you want. You want to see people get beat with baseball bats? You know what I mean? So everybody starts diving into this thing. Well, it's easy, right? Just throw 3 letters together and buy a cage and put on fights. You know what happens when you get $37 million and you're a fighter? I don't want to get punched in the face. I got $37 million, man.
As human beings, we're fascinated by who the toughest guy in the world is. It's always been that way from the days of the Roman gladiators. You know, I always have this thing where I say I can throw all kinds of stats and bullshit at you about the UFC that's true and all these things, but here's something that I don't know if this is true, but it's what I truly believe, and it's what we built this company on. I believe that before a man threw a ball through a circle, before a man hit a ball with a stick, 2 men were put on this earth, somebody threw a punch, and whoever was standing around ran over and watched. Fighting is the first sport ever, and it will be the last sport ever. It will be around till the day we die, till the earth no longer exists. Fighting will always be here. But it scares everybody. It scares everybody. I don't give a who you are or what you do. When a fight breaks out, there's that holy shit, that nervous energy that takes over the room, and fighting is what really, everybody feels it. I don't care who you are.
The thing that we do different than any other sport, especially boxing, when you think about boxing, right? They do the same thing. What would happen was the fight would be coming. It's a week away, and I'm so excited, I can't wait. I'm watching everything, I'm reading everything that leads up to the fight, right? It's the night of the fight, I got all my buddies over, we bought all the pizza and the beer, and we're ready to roll, and a fight never happens. These guys run around for 12 rounds, and the fight doesn't happen. Do you know why? Do you know why this has happened and why boxing is dying? Because the sport has become so greedy. Nobody was ever thinking about the future of the sport. It's about how much money can we all put in our pocket right here, right now. Who cares about tomorrow? So essentially what you get at the end is you get 2 multi-millionaires who step into the ring and do everything they can to avoid a fight so they can win, just barely win, to get to the next multi-million-dollar fight that we pay for, right? And it just became ridiculous, and it's exactly what goes. Think about this. Think about every person in this room right now if I guaranteed you all $37 million. Guaranteed. I guarantee you $37 million this year. Guess what you're going to do? Not much. Not much. Are you going to bust your ass every day? Your alarm's going to go off in the morning. You're going to go like, I'm not going to go to class. Hell do I want to go to class for? I got $37 million. Right? Who's going to class if they got $37 million? Nobody's going to class. You know what happens when you get $37 million and you're a fighter? I don't want to get punched in the face. I got $37 million, man. I'm not getting punched in the face. This is ridiculous. We incentivize guys to fight. You get money to show, and you get money to win. And then you get money for the best fight of the night, you get money for the best knockout, money for the best submission. You're incentivized. No different than any other business in the world. Show up at your job and have a half-assed day. See how that goes. I'm not in the mood today. See how that goes. You have to be incentivized. When somebody hires you, when you guys leave this school and go to these other jobs, you will cut out a deal where you're working for some big company where you'll have incentives and bonuses. It's the way the real world works. Boxing does not live in the real world anymore, and that's why it's hurting.
You're 31 years old. You don't have a university degree or any experience running a company like this. One of your partners, Lorenzo Fertitta, said that if they had hired a Harvard MBA instead of you, they probably would have been out of business at this point. What do you think they saw in you that inspired that trust?
You know, they knew me for a long time. I was a hard worker. I've been in the fight business since I was 17 years old, and I was the one that came to them with this idea. I had lots of ideas. They believed in it too. We started taking jiu-jitsu together, and we fell in love with this sport. I thought that this thing could be this big. I always believed this, that no matter what color you are, what country you come from, or what language you speak, we're all human beings, and fighting's in our DNA. We get it and we like it. And I knew that if we could package this thing the right way, deliver a great television show and a great live experience, that this thing could be big. I really did always believe that. You just never know if the timing is right. Do we have the right idea at the wrong time?
You know, we go out there, we make this thing work. The first season of The Ultimate Fighter happens, this thing skyrockets, starts to take off. So of course, the fight business is a fun business to be in. So everybody starts diving into this thing. Well, it's easy, right? Just throw 3 letters together and buy a cage and put on fights. Anybody could do that. So these guys go out, and the biggest mistake that everybody makes when they try to compete with us is they try to compete with us. I'm not out trying to kill other organizations. The only time you've ever seen me act like I wanted to kill an organization was guys who came out and talked smack about us. Those were the times. It was like, all right, you want to fight? We'll fight. Don't try to be the UFC. The first thing you have to do when you start a business is know exactly who you are and what is your game plan. You know, what are we going to do? First year is where you're looking. What are we going to do first year? You make it through that first year and you're still alive. All right, what's our 3-year plan? You get into your 3-year plan, and that's how you start to build your company. Our goal when we started this company was to build a sport. And to build a sport, everybody plays by the same rules all over the world. So there's still a lot of work to do. There's a lot of countries we're not in. Right now we're in 175 countries, 22 different languages, and over 1 billion homes worldwide on television. When you really sit down and when we get together and sit in a room and start talking about what needs to be done and how much more we could do, it's mind-boggling how big this thing is going to be. You know, people think it's big now. We're not even close. It's like, you know, I'll still talk to people that don't know what the UFC is. We still got a lot of work to do.
I mean, somebody would look at your empire and kind of go, this guy doesn't care about money?
People do it all the time. All the time people say that. If I was into money, I'd still be standing in the lobby of the Boston Harbor Hotel, because there is no guarantee in your future in getting into the fight business. You know, I had a good job. I was making tips. Like I said, you can get a 401k there. You have great benefits. If it was about money, I'd still be standing in the lobby. It was about doing something you love to do. How many people are sitting in their car right now, or in their house, or at work, or wherever they are, and literally hate what they do for a living?
That's why
I was that guy, but I had the balls to get up and walk out and go for it. If you want to be a competitor and you want to compete, I love to compete. It's my favorite thing to do. And people think that I'm a competition killer, and they've called us a monopoly and all these other things. You know, I love it. It's what gets me out of bed in the morning. If you come out and say you want to compete against us, it's what gets me up and gets me excited. Don't tell me that you don't want to win every day. You don't want to beat them and pull the biggest numbers and get the most sponsors. Absolutely. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's what keeps you alive. It's what gets you up every morning and makes you a part of society. That will to get up and put shoes to butts every day. It's not like that anymore. And I'll be like that till the day I die. I love it.